Good evening. Call the meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. Has the board had a chance to review our minutes?
Yes, we have. Motion to accept?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved. Department heads, Jim?
I don't have anything too exciting tonight, which is good news. The department did log 1,334 incidents in the last month and charged 61 people with crime. We had 3 non-fatal overdoses. The construction is in progress for the lockup. There's people that are working right now as we speak. And Pride Day. I can say that Pride Day was a great success, great weather, and excellent job by Sergeant Levitri and Officer Barbour on putting together a package for folks. The motorcycle was very popular for the kids to climb on, and that was a success. But that's all I have this morning.
Any questions for Jim?
Very short.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're getting like Joe, Jim. Very short.
Thanks, Jim.
No, sir, I have nothing from you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No appointments tonight, no public hearings, new business, Ms. Roberts?
Nothing?
Mrs. Smith?
I'm good.
Old business, Ms. Roberts?
Nothing?
Mrs. Smith?
No old.
Okay, town administrator's report, Mr. Buckner.
I'll mention one more time the vacancies that we have. Conservation Commission, Capital Planning Committee, Finance Committee, Cable TV Advisory Board, and Board of Appeals. Capital Planning Board met last night. During the week, we'll be prioritizing all of the requests we've received. We plan to meet with the board next Tuesday, October 4th, with that prioritized list. The board set the fall town meeting date last week, Monday, November 14th. I've notified department heads that articles will be due next a week from Thursday, October 6th, and I'll have a draft warrant ready by the Selectmen's meeting on Tuesday, October 11th, and the final warrant on October 18th. Upcoming next week, we do have the Comcast ascertainment hearing at 7 p.m., followed by Capital Planning Committee, as I mentioned, and we also have Mr. Buckley coming in. Southeastern Mass Health Group has a meeting on October 6th at 9 a.m. to talk about cost-saving measures the group can take, and negotiations with Patrolmen's Union Friday, October 7th.
Any questions for Randy? Selectmen's report, Ms. Roberts.
Just Pride Day, I would like to reiterate what a great time it was, and everybody turned out, and it was a fabulous day, and it seemed like it was more turnout this year than last year, so kudos to everybody, and they did a great job with the food there, too. They had a lot of samplings and things like that, so good
Did you
job.
get any paisonis?
I did get paisonis.
You did get paisonis.
I got paisonis, I got 2 jerks, I got...
I
what
didn't
else
get 2
Oh, you didn't?
No, I missed
got my hot dog, yep.
I had my hot dog.
Yep.
Lions Club hot dogs.
Yep, did that.
Best hot dogs.
Yeah, no, they do a good job.
I think it's because they're cooked with loving hands.
Yes.
That they taste so good, and the line is so long to get it. So by the time you're there, you have waited all that time.
Yeah.
You're really in for a...
They had a lot of like wellness things there too, which I thought was really good, you know, natural, holistic type of things, you know,
Yep.
really informative. They
Was
did a good
excellent.
job. And they have a new place on 138 Bar. It's called BARRE, and it's like a stretching, almost like a yoga, but not like ballet yoga combined thing. Talked to them for a while. They're really good, so I told them I would sign up, so I'll be in some sore shape.
Good. Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Anything to add?
No, really, other than Pride Day. I did go to the rave opening meeting last evening. It amazes me as to all of the wonderful things that go on in our school department. You know, we don't get to hear a lot of it. But for an example, the middle school is starting a Junior National Honor Society. I think that's fabulous for these kids. And they had the Harvest Day. I don't know if you saw all those jumpy things and everything. Not having young children in school, we do miss a lot of the activities that go on in the school. So it's good to, pay attention at rave. And they do a really great job. And remember Saturday night, Joseph, are you going to the comedy night Saturday night?
It's on my calendar, so I'm hoping.
It's on your calendar, good. Karen?
I have to work, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad, because the last one they had
I
was
know, and
wonderful.
I wanted to go to that.
And they raised almost $5,000 for the salute to veterans, and hopefully they'll do that or better this year. So everybody Saturday night at the Legion.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. And
You're very welcome, sir.
I would just echo both of your comments about Pride Day. It was a great time, and Kevin looked like a genius postponing it a week because
I know.
the weather couldn't have been better. When he postponed it and then we didn't get rain, I was feeling bad, and I know he.
Yeah, I felt a little bad.
Yeah, and I know he was nervous, but as always, he and Shirley did a great job organizing it, and just a brilliant move postponing it because it was a beautiful day. The only other thing I have, as I think the board's aware, last week I had a informational meeting at the request of some residents regarding a dog park, and I just wanted to report on that. We had, in my opinion, very good attendance and some real positive feedback. I estimate about 40 people attended, and I've received some emails and letters, and I actually just met a resident this evening prior to our meeting to talk about the dog park some further, and it's a lot of support, and I think what I'd like to see happen, if there's no objection from the board, is for us to refer the matter out to Park and Rec for their input and a feasibility study of sorts. I'd like to get some additional information, and it's kind of outside of the realm of my expertise as to all the steps that we might need to take if we wanted to pursue this, a cost associated with it. Obviously, there would be some liability, and then any potential suitable sites that we might have in town. I promised the residents I would report to the board on that and get some feedback from you guys.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, Park and Rec, I think, would be the way to go. I motion to accept.
Well, since the Park and Recreation Department, by virtue of its position, would have the best handle on something like that, and also the availability at Boyden Colony. There may be some place there that can be used for that purpose. I'm very concerned about the liability aspect of it, so definitely an awful lot of study has got to go into it. But if it is something that is such a desire for people to have, then I think we owe it to the people to at least investigate it and find out a solution to it.
Absolutely.
I'm not 100% thinking like dog park. I have 2 dogs, I don't.
Yeah, it seems to be getting some traction, and a few of the members who attended have offered to do some fundraising to offset the costs.
Oh, that's good.
If it's something that we were able to pursue. So, if that's a motion.
Motion.
Yeah, it can. Be very careful, Joseph, when you're thinking about this, of town land.
Yeah.
Because we don't give town land.
Well, no. So it would be a town. It would be a town area, and similar to what our ball fields are, where we own it, but then the league or the association or the group
Assumes the liability.
and offset some of the costs. So we would still have ownership of it. And that's part, I think, of the structure is looking, because we wouldn't be the first town who would have a dog park. So I think part of the process should be looking at the best practices from some of the other towns. And
Right.
again, if we're moving forward with us trying to incorporate what those best practices are for us moving forward. So.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
It's approved, thank you. Correspondence is light. We have a letter of resignation from our town planner, Tim Inacio, citing personal reasons, and he's resigning effective Tuesday, October 11th. And if we have any questions, we can contact him.
Regretfully, motion to accept. I'm sorry for his short term here, and I wish him well.
Well, I'm not willing to accept it. There was a comment that he had made that he possibly could work part-time.
Yeah.
I think we ought to research that area a little bit and see if not a part-time position at this point in time may be the way to go with that.
A fit for him.
We are going into winter.
Yeah.
Things are really slow.
Yeah.
Subdivisions, primarily nothing's coming in. I know the building department has some permits, but those are one-on-one, and that's handled by the building department.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think I'd like to just hold off on accepting his resignation until we discuss with him whether or not part-time would be a thing he'd like to do.
Yeah, so I know Randy had some conversations with him already, and I think there's some different dynamics at play.
Yeah.
So if you
We
want to
can hold off a week or two.
Okay.
Okay, all right. We have a request from the Colonial Road Runners to have a race on Sunday, December 11th. It's the 4th annual Frosty Half Marathon beginning at 8:30, and he would Jim Dupont would coordinate with the police department as they've done in past years. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
That is approved. No other correspondence, no press time this evening, no emergency business. We have no members of the public with us this evening. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before,
Oh, go ahead.
before we do that, Randy, would you please ask John Noblin and Joe Betancourt, they're on the permanent building committee that we have in town, right? Would you ask them if they would get together and let me know when it is? There's a couple of things that have come up that I'd like to discuss with them. So at their convenience, they can set up a meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Then yes, I will second her motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.